Hello, my name is Maximilian Sanchez, and this video is about methodology in foreign language teaching, and specifically recent methods or language teaching methods. So, in this time, I will talking about the total physical response method. So, let's begin. The total physical response is a language teaching method that I said before that combines speech with action and aims to teach the language through physical activity. So this method was developed by J. Osher, a professor of psychology at San Jose State University. This is in California, United States. Method is related to memory, theory, and psychology. So a connection to memory may be stronger if it is established through verbal repetition or through association with motor activity. And this method is very useful for kids and children in general. So it is very useful in these ages. So what is the objective of the total physical response? The objective is, or the general objective is develop oral proficiency in the second language at the initial levels. Like I said before, is specifically for children, so for kids, for teach a basic level of English, and in this case is important, is useful, so it focuses this um, on this target for children. So the method makes a special emphasis and place of developing comprehension skills before teaching to speak. The emphasis is placed on meaning rather than form, and attempts are made to minimize the stress of the learning process through physical action and play. Like I said before, this method is for children, so try to make fun the action of learn is basically that. And now I will talk about in special of one activity that I will be developed. So the activity is uh, focuses on total physical response or basis on total physical response. The name of the activity is acting in class. Uh, you will see why this name. So the school grade or school target for this activity is students for sixth grade, but is a useful activity for others grades, other course, but always with children, right? Always is useful on children's for children's. So the activity is focuses on the children. The vocabulary for this activity is verbs and adverbs, and the time will be for 5 minutes, and the objective of the exact activity is establish the meaning of the new word. In this case, like I said before, is verb and adverb. So the specific objectives. We will use TPR to remember the new vocabulary, verbs and adverbs, and difference, obviously. In every session, every class is a different vocabulary, and this activity take advantage for the TPR as a brain break. Is for a rest in the middle of the class, or the final at the final of the class, because the children goes boring in class, so this activity can help for uh, like a brain break for the children. So the last specific objective is use TPR to ask previous vocabulary to keep this part of memory active. So like I said before, this is for learn vocabulary, and this activity can use in a different classes and different courses. So it's very important and very useful for remember the old vocabulary, or the vocabulary new. So it's very useful for these adjectives. So let's move the description of the activity. And this activity is like playing Simon Says. Is a very popular game for the children. So, but nobody ever loses in this activity, right? Simon Says you or children can lose, but in this activity, nobody lose. Nobody ever lost. To begin with, the activity develops as follows. First step: the teacher writes the word in the language on the blackboard. So the teacher uh, shows the word in the board, and then we write your translation in the mother tongue in blue. So uh, the teacher writes the word in another color. So can be black or red, another color. But the translation in the mother tongue is important, is in blue. So uh, after that, the gesture is assigned to define this word or verb. In this case, it's a verb, and we can leave into the leaking of the students, or the teacher can choose the gesture, because otherwise there will be a different gesture for each group or each student, and we will not remember all of them. So for practice and for for do better this activity, we can use ourselves. No, we can choose the gesture for the student, for the activity, right? And it's more easy. It's easy. So the next step is the fourth step. We can practice several times saying the word and making a gesture. So we choose the word, put the translation, and moving on for making the gesture. So it's basically the activity is the principal manner of the activity is basically the activity. So what other thing or other ways to do this activity? We can do this. So we can model this activity in different ways. For example, the teacher says the word and the students act, or the teacher acts and the students say the word, or they all do at the same time, students and teacher, or students or teacher, or finally the teacher tries to, she doesn't say a word, but acts differently than the word for students. This is for or for trying to make more difficult the activity, but nobody lose in this activity is for I saw another way to do this activity, more interesting, or more fun, more difficult. So is another way to do. So this is everything for this time. So see you next time. Thanks for watching.